As my final video for 2024, I'm going to talk about at least 5 things. I was going to say 5 things, but it's really more than 5 things that we can look forward to in 2025 and beyond from NIO. And first off, and I'll give a couple of shout outs here. First off, NIO EV Battery Swap. And this tweet, and then the other tweets and the article from CNEV Post, I will share and create links and timestamps in the description so that you can check them out, at your own convenience and that sort of thing. So this is kind of consistent with what I'm thinking and watching moving forward. That's why I wanted to start with this, and that is, the vehicle release, the ramping, and yes, Telescope. Sean over at Telescope had a great video talking about some of the things that we could look for from NIO. But let's keep it moving, because the things that I've highlighted, I just briefly want to touch on. Maybe I'll offer a couple thoughts. The new plant, this would be for Factory 3 from NIO, will have a single shift capacity of 100,000 units per year, and it will be used for both NIO and Onvo branded products. That's from Chin Li Hong at an earlier point. Now, this tweet was put out about December 12th. I think that's when William Lee took a bunch of questions. And so that's what this is from. And again, I'll link all this in the description so you can check it out for yourselves. But that is, that's one of the things I wanted to file away. I'm really curious how Firefly is going to look, both from a manufacturing standpoint in China and then later abroad. And I'm not going to go in depth on that, but there is more to kind of track with that moving forward. So anyway, we'll get more updates on that, obviously, in 2025. Moving on to the next point. This is the battery swap stations. Now, Chin Li Hong had said, I think it was Chin, who said the goal is 5,000 swap stations by NIO at the end of 2025. They are right at about 3,000 right now at the end of 2024. So with the goal of 2,000 being for Onvo and 1,000 currently for Onvo, that kind of gives us an indicator. Okay, there are another 1,000 that are going to be deployed. Are those going to be for NIO? Are they going to be for Firefly? Is it going to be a combination? How is that going to look? Again, something to look ahead toward and to kind of wonder about. Here is another one. This is the sales target for 2025 is a doubling from 2024, or around 440,000 units. Now, by the way, coming down here and checking this out, the Onvo sub-brand is expected to achieve an average of 20,000 units per month in 2025. So above 200,000 for the year. So that's kind of the expectation, is 200,000 of the 440,000 going to Onvo. So what's the breakdown look like with Firefly and with NIO? Again, things I'll be wondering and watching, kind of tracking as we head into this new year. Also, NIO still wants to enter 25 countries and regions cumulatively by 2025. That's a lot of global expansion still to be done. And the focus on sales for Onvo and Firefly models will be in overseas markets, as they are less expensive than the NIO brand. Again, I think there's a nod here to offsetting tariffs, especially when you factor in battery as a service, which reduces the upfront cost to the user or consumer if they choose to rent the battery and not purchase it. However, that does mean that swap infrastructure and the build out and the regulatory side might become even more important as an kind of early indicator for where NIO will be able to put up swap stations versus where they already have them, where they know they can get them out and up quickly. So that's one of the things I'll be tracking again heading into 2025. Also, with respect to the Battery Swap Alliance, and this is actually, again, another shout out to NIO EV Battery Swap, because we went back and forth in the comment section on a video that I did. And then he found it and shared this, which is exactly why I wanted to highlight it, because there is a lot of good stuff, a lot of good content in here in this Q&A that William Lee did, that CNEV Post put out there. So this is what we were talking about, though, is when are we going to see a battery swappable model from one of the partners from NIO? And so these are some of the things that were shared. William Lee said today that those efforts are moving forward, and that the cycle time to build a new energy battery swap enabled model is about 18 months. The first model from the NIO Battery Swap Alliance is undergoing winter testing, Lee said. So I still don't know. I feel like we don't have clarity here yet. But he says by 2027 and 2028, there will be more new models built using NIO's battery swap technology, he said. So this is, again, one of the things that I've been wondering about, specifically in reference to and with respect to Firefly, if some of those brands help put out the infrastructure and the build out of the power swap stations that will allow battery swapping for Firefly and perhaps their models that are coming in, that obviously absorb some of the cost of the infrastructure and that investment that NIO would otherwise be taking on more on their own. So that's one of the things, again, I'll be watching and curious about moving forward. This is the article link. So again, I'll share this tweet from CNEV Post. Thank you to them for going deep on this one. And have a great day. Thanks for stopping by and sticking around to the end if you, in fact, stuck around to the end of this video.